So, Dr. Dana, can I call you Dr. Dana?
You're going to have to start over.
Thanks for joining us today. I'm Shannon at Cascade Pet Camp. And of course, I'm here with my partner, Dr. Dana. And my question for her today to answer is, what really is physical therapy for dogs? There is, of course, the picture that most of us have in our head of dogs that are recovering from surgery or illness, older dogs that need to gain strength, dogs that have, other needs for having a routine of physical therapy like a person would. But in reality, we're finding that it's more than that.
Yeah, I think, thank you for asking that question, Shannon. I think that most people have this image that if they've ever had physical therapy themselves, that they're doing a bunch of...
It's pain.
Number one, it's pain, which it shouldn't be. I don't care what species you are. And that it requires a bunch of equipment, or, in human medicine, we use a lot of rubber bands for things, or those kinds of things.
I've never had physical therapy, I guess.
Well, everyone can picture the shoulder exercises where they're sitting, going in and out with their arm with a rubber band.
I pictured somebody shooting them at me.
For dogs, the great thing about physical therapy with dogs is effectively it is sometimes low level, progressing to high level trick training. So we can use things like repetitive sits in a really nice sit position as strengthening, or as for a dog who might have had a spinal injury, as re-educating the body how to move through from a lying down position to a sit position to a stand position. So one of the reasons I actually love it is it effectively is brain work for dogs. It's effectively behavioral training for dogs. So we actually hit a lot of the markers that you and I talk about all the time. And we don't think about it when we're teaching silly pet tricks to our dogs. But if you teach your dog to shake, that is a front limb coordination exercise. It can also be a stretch for the shoulder. It can also be a very gentle strengthener for a dog that might be recovering from a shoulder injury. We don't think of teaching our dogs to back up as anything other than a cute little trick or to give us more space, but that's a hind end coordination issue and a hind end strengthening issue. So we can use a lot of these fun behaviors that we've previously taught as silly pet tricks to entertain our dogs or ourselves, or get titles for our dogs, or even things like compete with our dogs in specific dog sports. We can break those behaviors down into strengthening, coordination, body awareness, and what we call proprioception exercises, all just from doing...
Not to mention strengthening the bond with the
and
human.
that's, super selfishly, because we're dog nerds, it's nice to end up with a partnership that's actually stronger through the process of physical rehabilitation. That's one of the reasons why I actually like having owners present for visits, because not only can I physically help teach them how to get their dog to do a certain behavior, but the dog is working with them for a coordinated goal.
And I already know the answer, but tell me about physical therapy for dogs that are in good shape and they're just your athlete, weekend warrior, or just in great shape dogs.
Yeah, you and I see a lot of those dogs with where we live and the kinds of things that we like to do. And just like us, in an ideal world, we do some level of warm up for ourselves before we go out and, go for a 12-mile run. Our dogs should do something warm up wise as well before they go out. So teaching a simple cookie stretch, which we can insert the link for the video here, is a great way to get your dog's body warmed up. Teaching the bridge exercise for core strengthening can be a great way to kind of get their muscles engaged. It doesn't always have to be a lot of physical exercise or physical movement for you or your dog to get warmed up. Sometimes just doing some active stretching and kind of body waking up exercises can be super helpful. And I'm super biased. I actually think the things that we ask of our athletic dogs, whether that's casually going for a run with you or being a true sport dog doing agility, I think those things are really hard for our dogs. And they do them for us because maybe they find them rewarding, or maybe they find our joy rewarding. But we owe it to them to keep them in good shape and
for as long as we can.
For as long as we can. And of course it's my bias because it's part of what you and I do on a day in and day out basis. But I really think that dogs should be assessed regularly for pain. I think when it's your own dog, sometimes we miss it. I know that I've missed things in my own dog, and you've caught things that, do you think your dog's moving a little bit weird today? Or they don't show it to you as the owner because they want to please you and they want to do the fun thing. But, you know, in a quiet moment when somebody else is watching, they might move in a way that indicates they might have pain. And so I think, you know, having a conditioning assessment, just like you would if you were a high-level athlete yourself, can be really valuable for your dogs.
Nice. Thanks for taking the time today. If you'd like to learn more or book an appointment with us or join one of our puppy parkour classes, check us out at cascadepetcamp.com or look us up on social media. Thanks.